Hi everyone, welcome to Chapter 10. Today we're talking policies and procedures. A policy is a rule and a guideline established for a particular group or population, such as a business, whereas a procedure is the processes by which those policies and guidelines are carried out. So why are policies and procedures needed? Policies and procedures form the foundation of your practice and business. Whether you're opening your own business or joining an established business, it's important to formulate or adopt needed policies and procedures. Clear policies and procedures are guidelines that help the clients or customers know that the business is concerned with the service it provides and with making its customers as comfortable and happy as possible. Business policies and procedures are guidelines that you set for your business and inform your clients and customers of your expectations and what rules they need to follow. As the example, a policy states all clients have to pay for services immediately following their sessions. That kind of gives the clients an idea up front that they're expected to pay for services at the time of the services are rendered. Policies are also needed to prevent situations that you're not comfortable with. If clients see that you have no policy on a specific issue, they tend to be tempted to try to convince you to do something you're not comfortable doing. Again, it gives the example, a client may pressure you with social invitations if you do not have a policy against not socializing with clients outside of the office. It's helpful to have written procedures also, even for simple things such as opening and closing the facility. Even simple procedures can be easily forgotten, and a checklist in the procedure manual will assist employees who may not normally perform that task. Clear-cut guidelines help prevent problems such as tasks not being completed and having to remind employees what to do. Personal policies. A personal policy is a guideline developed by a particular individual in a practice for his or her use. And it gives the example of a personal policy that one therapist chooses to never work on Sundays. That's their personal policy. Whereas other therapists within that same practice can have the policy that they decide to keep that day open for possibilities. Key points. Policies are set guidelines for clients and employees to follow. Procedures are processes by which the policies are followed. And policies and procedures should be the foundation of a business. Value of policies and procedures. Policies and procedures help define a business structure and how it operates. Most people have worked with a company with a policy or procedure manual. When questions arose, answers could be usually found in the manual. For example, an employee needed to know when the company closed for holidays. The policy manual would answer those questions. Employee policy manuals can also contain information about hiring requirements, expected behaviors, and the consequences for inappropriate behaviors, as well as management structure and training agendas. So, policy and procedure manual provides value for the therapist in the sense that policies and procedures provide a structure for the therapist to use, and they also help to portray a professional image to the public. A business without clear structure is often in a constant state of chaos and change. So you need to have your policies and procedures set and determined before business begins, or you need to adapt it as quickly as possible if you're already in business. Many of you will be starting out either on your own or be starting in a new business starting your new business within an existing business. So therefore, it's important to have your company that you work for should have policies and procedures, but then you yourself too should have your own set of policies. Okay, structure and policy can also help a therapist set their schedules and their goals. And policies and procedures help a business or individual present a positive professional image to the public. A therapist's policies should also help clients understand what services the business provides. And they also prevent therapists from being put in an awkward situation when they have to decide on a case-by-case basis what action to take. Not being prepared with an existing policy makes a therapist vulnerable, and a client may try to take advantage of the situation. Procedures similarly help provide structure needed in business. Procedures for banking, purchasing supplies, and other daily functions help therapists be more organized and plan for the future growth of the business. Value for employees. Policies and procedures help employees in much the same way as business owners. Many new therapists are understandably nervous when they begin a new job, and remembering what to do during the session, interviewing the client, and being able to answer the client's questions can be intimidating for someone in a new business. Having to make decisions also about issues such as what to do with a client who is unhappy and or has payment issues only adds to that nervousness. So if you already have established policies and procedures for employees, then that takes a lot of the stress off of the employees, so it helps everything to, again, run smoothly. Important educational aspect of being an employee involves learning an employer's policies and procedures. So if you're going in as an employee, please note that you will be expected to know and follow that business owner's policies and procedures. Value for clients. Policies and procedures state guidelines for clients to help them know what to expect from a bodywork practice. Many therapists put their office policies in writing, and many require clients to sign a statement that they have read those policies. Other policies are designed to help clients feel safe in the massage environment. Policies concerning draping and attending to the client's comfort levels based on the client's feedback are designed to help clients feel more comfortable. Key points. Policies are the structure and foundation for practice. Procedures define how policies are carried out. Policies and procedures help protect the safety and well-being of both client and therapist. So it's giving you kind of an example of the policy and procedure manual. Okay, the foundation for an ethical practice. Beginning with your first day as a massage student, you have been building the foundation for your massage practice. When students first enroll in the massage program, most are not thinking about the many dynamics that are involved with massage practice, such as the emotional issues and the responses to body work or the marketing of a massage practice. So determining the image to project to the public and the type of work to perform are among the many variables that can set a practice up for success or for failure. Therapists first beginning practice often experience common fears and nervousness. Some clients sense that nervousness and try to take advantage of a new therapist. Here's an example. A client tells a new therapist that he or she has never been draped for massage in the past. The therapist may feel obligated to do the same if the therapist is caught off guard by such a request and does not have a stated policy about draping. It can be hard to tell the client that this is not acceptable. But if you already have your policy in effect and it states that all clients will be fully draped except for the area being worked on, this makes it easy to tell the clients that this is required. Okay, therapist individual beliefs and values. Working in a business with other therapists frequently leads to differences of opinion regarding ethics of bodywork. As discussed in Chapter 2, one's values and beliefs originate in your personal background and upbringing, so it's only normal that therapists will encounter others who have completely different outlook on the same ethical principles involved in bodywork. Conflicts in beliefs and values. Working for another party rather than for yourself can involve a number of ethical issues. The business may have policies that address issues a new therapist may not have thought about, but also disagreements may arise about policies. Situations may occur in which one's personal beliefs and values are tested. For the sake of a job, should therapists put their own personal beliefs and values aside? This problem is not unique to bodywork profession, but occurs also in many other professions. For example, a business may have a policy about not giving customers certain information before they purchase a product. In this case, employees would need to decide whether they want to work for a company if they believe the customers should always have all the information up front. Employees often do not agree with every policy of a business. You may disagree with the policy involving vacation days, sick days, scheduling, and pay periods. Policies concerning more subjective issues are more likely to result in a wide variety of opinions among therapists. It's difficult to know in advance all the situations therapists may encounter in a business. Therefore, it is difficult to create policies in advance that will cover every possible situation. It's also important to ensure your policies are consistent with the state laws, rules, and regulations. Ideally, all massage practices should have clear written policies and procedures, including both independent and group practices and all other businesses. Key points. Clients will test policies and procedures. Diversity in values and beliefs can lead to differences in policies and procedures. And group practices require compromise and consensus. Okay, moving on to writing your own policies and procedures. Policies and procedures documents are again living documents, meaning they are flexible and they should be changed if new issues arise or if a policy is not working well. So deciding what is important. Consider two questions when developing policies and procedures. How does this policy or procedure help my clients? And how does this policy or procedure help me? Policies and procedures ideally should be helpful to all parties, although some policies or procedures refer to only the therapist or the client. Policies and procedures should also be practical and convenient for the parties affected. Gives you the exercise 10-1. If you haven't already done it, you can pause here and go do that, and then come back and we'll move on. Okay, so developing your manual. Exercise 10-2, along with other suggestions made in this chapter, can help you formulate the beginning of a policy and procedure manual for a new massage or bodywork business. As you write your policies and procedures, think about how best to present them with a professional appearance. A few handwritten notes in a notebook are a beginning, but a neatly word-processed or typed format will look more organized and professional when you show it to others who may be considering working with you in your facility. Okay, other topics included in policy manuals includes client privacy and confidentiality, city ordinances and state compliance, health and fire department compliance, informed consent, therapist or client's right to refuse services, payment for missed appointments or late arrivals, time of payment, socializing with clients, working with friends and family members, insurance reimbursement, referral sources, and finally note-taking and filing procedures. A couple of key points. Look at policies and procedures used in other businesses. Always ask the two questions, how does it serve the client and how does it serve the therapist? And consider the well-being and safety of both the client and the therapist. Now we get to communicating your policies. So informing the public. Policies can be conveyed to the general public and to clients in a number of ways. Initially, the first contact with a potential client may involve some discussion about the business's policies. For example, if a new client makes an appointment with you for next week, after confirming the date and time, you tell the client that you have a 24-hour cancellation policy that requires clients to call in to cancel or reschedule at least 24 hours in advance, or they will be charged for the session. Brochures and marketing pieces also convey a business's policies, the operating hours, types of services offered, and the types of payments accepted are important information for potential new clients. Also, informed consent. This also means providing information to the client when clients are going to receive a massage or therapy. It's advisable to inform them about the type of treatment they are going to receive and the outcome they should expect. Informed consent helps both the client and the therapist understand what the session will be about. Informing employees. When employers and potential employees talk about employment, policies and procedures are generally the major part of the discussion. Both parties need to feel the policies and procedures are workable. During the interview, an applicant should ask questions in order to fully understand the employer's expectations of employees. From the employer's point of view, it's also better to ensure that potential employees or independent contractors understand all the expectations from the beginning. Preventing future misunderstandings and problems can save a great deal of time and energy. Informing other therapists. As either an employee or an independent practitioner, it's important for you to inform other therapists and professionals about your policies and procedures, and to learn about policies of other professionals with whom you work. Gives an example, if you're referring a client to a certain chiropractor, it's important to know if their patients are required to see his or her massage therapist while receiving their care. Also, it's important to inform other professionals about any policies you may have that affect clients who are referred to you. Key points. Policies can be conveyed to others verbally, by brochures, or through a signed intake or consent form. Okay, that completes all of Chapter 10. Be sure to complete your quiz online, and we'll move on to Chapter 11 for the next session.